So Leroy,
Going on?
you're running it back?
I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was fun. It pumped a lot today.
Would Leroy ever give up?
Leroy doesn't give up, man.
There's your
Leroy's on it.
answer.
Are we live right now?
I think so.
You think so? Dude, it's on its had like 4 CTOs that coin has. It's been it's got a lot of history on that one.
I mean, the lore would keep coming if it's like here 5 years from now.
I mean, it will be. It's like I locked the LP for like 150 years or something. So it's gonna be, yeah. Leroy will be on the blockchain for a long time.
So what else is going on in the meme world these days?
I don't know, man. A lot of old established meme coins are are running it back right now. They're really strong. It's funny because after all the shit that people gave Murad, and all that, that SPX is one of the strongest charts right now. That and some of the older memes. So
Why do you think that?
I mean,
Why do you think that is with XPX? Like, they have a bunch of calls, or that he has just a big following, or what makes that coin?
I think it's just an easy hold. It's on Ethereum. I think what we're seeing right now is a lot of people are so exhausted from the just exhausted from buying new coins on Pump Fun, and buying stuff and immediately losing on it, or like not being able to buy stuff and hold it. Like this cycle we didn't really see like any retail like at all. We did at Trump, like when Trump launched, you had people legitimately like downloading Moonshot to like buy Trump coin. But I mean, their first experience was,
The
being
greatest
down immediately 70% right after, so
yeah.
people want to like buy coins and be able to hold them, and not have to worry like if they're going to lose all their money like while they're sleeping. So it makes sense that people are attracted to some of these more established coins, that they don't have to babysit. So it makes sense.
Are you still sleeping in meme coins, or are you just basically in cash as you get run into the night? Or
there's like some stuff that I'll like. Base has actually been really good. A lot of coins have just quietly been going to like 100 mil market cap and stuff like that, and those you can sleep on. But no, I'm not really in a whole lot of meme coins, or a lot of coins like in general.
so you're basically just trading in cash and then working on your bots and
Yeah,
trying to
for
get
the
edge.
most part.
Yeah,
I was not positioned very well at all for like all the base stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I missed, but yeah, for the most part, that's basically how it's been.
That's usually my indication of like we're getting close to the end of the bull run, is when we're starting to go on different chains and do ICOs or meme coins or NFTs. That's usually a key indication to me that we're almost at the end of the cycle. Like, what do you think about that?
I don't know. We've done it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, this entire cycle, we've been doing that a lot. We're
Yeah.
bouncing from chain to chain and chain to chain. I think a lot of people are looking at the Pump Fun raise, as a top signal, just because it's like a huge extraction event where there won't be a whole lot of winners probably. And if they successfully do raise like $1 billion, that's like a lot of money that's not going to buy the coin, afterwards.
Right.
So, I think it's not, it could be, towards the end of the cycle. Bitcoin's in a weird spot, and there's definitely stuff that indicates like, yeah, this is not great. But at the same time, like, you look at the stock market and it literally like only goes up, and we have a lot of a lot of institutional, I guess, holdings of Bitcoin. So we move we move in tandem, I guess, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, that's why I think that might be the next bear market. It's like there's all these institutional monies going to the treasury companies for BTC, now for XRP, Solana, ETH. That seems to be maybe the narrative for how we get to another bear market. I don't think they'll hold it the same way or do it the same way Saylor might be doing it, but I guess we'll find out.
No, I don't think they will. I think they'll treat it as a risk asset, but like the most riskiest of assets,
Yeah.
But I mean, that headline this morning about being able to use Bitcoin ETFs and other ETFs as collateral, for lending on is it JP Morgan? Like, that's huge.
Yeah, that's massive.
That's really big. Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole point, of the ETFs, right? Like, it's like the whole point is to be able to turn your Bitcoin, and it's basically like turning your Bitcoin into like something that you can actually like leverage and do like actual like grown up stuff with. So
that people can abuse it like the housing market,
Well, yeah, I mean, right now, if you want to lend your Bitcoin, like you can do that. You're going to pay really high interest, and it's not going to be at JP Morgan Chase. So
yeah.
Being able to leverage your capital is like nothing new. We do it everywhere else. But maybe you're doing it on something that's a little more volatile than in your house, I guess. But I think that's a really big step. It's a really big step to like unlocking a lot of liquidity, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be huge for the price of Bitcoin too. I think it's going to push it up, and the more people are comfortable with investing in Bitcoin and then getting loans against that, and maybe leveraging even more or using that for other assets, I think it's going to create quite an economy for Bitcoin.
Is it? I didn't read like all I saw was the headline. Is it being able to use like raw Bitcoin as collateral, or is it just using the ETFs as collateral?
I think they said both from the headline I read, but maybe I'm wrong.
It would make more sense if it's the ETFs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but maybe it'd be really sick if it's raw Bitcoin, because then you wouldn't have to even deal with an ETF, which doesn't make much sense. They want people to use those ETFs, right? So
yeah, they want to be able to track it.
I'll have to look into it. Well, I mean, they can still track it, but they just want to be able to be the custodian, well, they're also, I think, the issuer too. So anyway.
So we were at the Bitcoin conference last week, or at least we're around it. I don't think I showed up for the event itself. Did you go at all to the conference? Yeah.
No, I had a pass, but I did not go.
Yeah, so standard behavior.
Yeah, I was hungover pretty much the entire time.
So yeah, so me and then Dom came up for Liquidated. We interviewed Mike Perry, and Ice Bags. Talked about Strike and some of the stuff they're doing over there with the Pandas launch. They were there, chatting to people about they're starting a casino and some other stuff. But I had a pretty good time on, I think it was Tuesday morning. We went to Couture, which was like an MMA gym. Sean Strickland was there, who is either very friendly or very not friendly. And, he knows Sean, so they were able to spar a little bit. I tried to go out there one time to spar with Sean, and he kicked me out of the gym, so it didn't go very well for me. But
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So, but Perry got to spar with him. I filmed it. I guess it went pretty viral. I think like a few million people viewed the video.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick.
I think Mike did okay. He could have done better. He used his head a lot to take punches, but he's a tough motherfucker. And Sean Strickland's like 215 pounds right now. I think Mike's weighs like maybe 180 or something. I don't know. So it was fun to watch. And then
that's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Wolf of Wall Street's on tomorrow. If you can join us, like around I think 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern time. It was like 1:30, 12, 11, 10. So 10:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, 1:30 Eastern time, to talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin conference. I think Ricky might join us too if you're around.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can make it. I have gym at 2, so I think I'm free before then.
So I usually go to these conferences like just to hang out with my friends. I don't really I'm a Bitcoin guy, so I'm not trying to hustle someone for a pre-sale or get to know somebody for some edge or whatever. But for guys out there that are looking to like, meet people, be part of the community, try to start finding a way to make a living in crypto or to find some sort of edge, like, do you have any recommendations for what they should do as far as, getting on Telegram chats or showing up to these events or these conferences? Because I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I so back in 2000 and it was like late 17, 2018, I used to do all the conferences, and that was kind of like how I made my money, back then. Was I didn't really know anybody, I wasn't established, but like ICOs were where the where the money was at. So I would go, I'd go to those conferences and just try and network, and basically look for all the Chinese projects, because that was like the hot ticket back then. And I would basically just, you know, network and go to the parties, afterwards, and secure an allocation for something that I had no shot, of securing had I not been there, in person and met these teams, and stuff like that. And you get these allocations, and then you can fill them and do it however you want. So I don't I don't do them anymore, man, because I just hate that stuff, right? Like I hate talking to people that I don't want to talk to, and I hate listening to pitches because you get kind of jaded you've been in the space for
Yeah.
long enough. You just get jaded, and like the people that are talking to you are like 9 times out of 10 full of shit,
Hmm.
and I just don't really like playing that game anymore. But that that prevents me from really good opportunities that still exist in this space, because you never know who you're going to meet, you never know who you're talking to. I think some of the best investments that I've done were stuff that was completely outside of like my sphere, um but I just happened to meet the right person, and we hit it off, and next thing it turns out really well. So I would say, like, if you're maybe new to the space, and you're trying to meet people, um it's a good place to do it. You have to know how to like sift through the con artists, and
Yeah.
you have to have a pretty good like bullshit detector, I think, or at least have someone that you're friends with that's very good at like being able to tell you, hey, this is trash, right? This is like
Yeah.
vaporware. Because yeah, I mean, there's tons of con artists, and scammers at those events.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. Like I use you or like Keyboard Monkey or Alex or to let me know if something's vapor or the tech's not there, right? But generally when I through the years I'm 43 years old and I've seen my share of scammers. Like if they talk really well and they seem like they're the best thing in the world, usually it's a pretty good indication that they might be a scammer. So be very careful. And Keyboard Monkey's famous for tipping us off to this Audi gentleman that almost fucked us on a deal a while ago, but he actually
Yeah.
introduced us to the Pebble guys who we did pretty
Affinity,
well,
affinity.
or Affinity now. But
Shout out
shout out
to
to
Aaron and
Affinity and
Affinity. Yeah.
Aaron and the team who have gotten us to 8x so far on our investment, and I so appreciate that. But
Mhm.
if someone can't take care of themselves, they probably can't take care of their investment. So if they're fat, out of shape, don't dress well, a little slobby, maybe just maybe
Yeah, yeah,
your money's at risk.
yeah,
So I think that's
yeah.
pretty
I feel
pretty good
like,
advice.
yeah, and also I think the bullshit detector just comes with experience. You sit on enough calls with enough people, or you meet with enough founders, right? And they might have a really good pitch, and everything might sound really good on paper, but they might say one little thing that doesn't add up, and they might just have one little slip of something that kind of sets your so some alarm bells off. And I know
Yeah, get them drunk and
we've
see how
experienced,
they act. Yeah,
dude, for real, for
for
real. That
real.
actually
Get them
that
fucked
is a
up.
really good one. Get them fucked up, take them to dinner. uh, little nuances. Yeah, because they start feeling comfortable with you, and then they disclose some shit where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like this is not good. So
And that's the other thing too, is like you're gonna get a bunch of PvP guys that I don't think are ethical and don't make money the right way, and so I don't deal with them. But some other people might. So it's kind of like, how do you want to make your money? Do you want to make your money a certain way, and how are you going to be able to live yourself being that way? And I think as AI gets more sophisticated, and people in this space get more sophisticated, that will happen less and people will get siphoned out. But certainly in the early days of crypto, just like the early days of poker and early 2000, there's not a lot of sharp people around. And so people are just, handing out money left and right and seeing if they can get lucky. And there's definitely some vampirous people or, succubus people out there trying to take you. So be aware.
yeah, I think I just do my best not to like cause harm. You know,
Yeah.
uh, I it's one thing if you're trading on chain, and it's a competitive environment, and whatever. It's like do it as you're here to make money, but do it without causing harm to other people. I think is probably the easiest way, to navigate without like malicious harm. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
probably the easiest way to navigate this stuff.
And one of the things I've noticed from you, Rob, and one of the reasons I think you've done really well, obviously you could have done better, being a bad guy, but you've always helped people. You're really, really good on the tech. You're really good on sophistication of some of this stuff that most people don't have. And you never say no. You're never asking for a handout or money for your services. You've given hours and hours and hours of your time. And I think that's what's gotten you into all these chats and groups and Google and all these, you have a good name, your name is respected, and that carries weight as it goes.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's definitely it's like a hard balance to maintain where I get added to so many chats with like projects that need like advice and stuff, and like now like obviously like I'll set up like terms for compensation and stuff
Yeah, of
like
course.
that.
Yeah,
I'll always talk to I'll always talk to projects, and it gets exhausting, man, and it gets like I get burnout, but and on the same tip too, like, dude, especially when you're dealing with like meme coins and you're like doing this every day, like you're gonna shill really bad coins. Like I've shilled so many coins that like I thought were good, and and went to zero. But I think people are a little more forgiving because like they know that I didn't do it maliciously, or like they know that I'm not like actively dumping, like, dude, I've round tripped so many bags just because like I put my name on it. I'm just like, man, I can't, what I'm saying? I just can't like dump on people like after I've done that. So I end up just round tripping it. But definitely would make a lot more money like if I just didn't shill anything, because then,
yeah,
then I wouldn't care, right? Like if I didn't shill it, then like, dude, the second starts going down, like I'm just gonna sell it. But it's just how I've operated, and it's worked out so well. It worked out well so far. I mean,
do you think like the new class of crypto people like will end up seeing the value of Bitcoin, or do you think they're always just going to gamble on memes, or once they get kind of burned on memes, do they just disappear from the space altogether, or they go, okay, like
mm,
it's Bitcoin or it's ETH or whatever?
I think there's a saying that's been around for a while, and it's like that for a reason, or at least like for the last like year or so. But it was like,
Mhm.
you make your money on meme coins, but you keep your money by buying Bitcoin. And a lot of successful guys who did well this last cycle, now they love Bitcoin, right? Because they made their money in the meme coins. They either stabled up and it's sent it to their bank, or you know they just started buying Bitcoin because at the end of the day, like, all roads lead to
Lead to
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Seems that
Um,
way.
so I think you'll have two camps of people, right? You'll have the guys who never leave the casino and zero out. Um, and then at that point, Bitcoin's like not attractive to them because what's that going to do for them? You know what I mean? Buying Bitcoin is going to do nothing for them because they're trying to like make it all back in one trade. So those guys, I don't think, I mean, but the thing is, like, that same group of people, they're really good at like spinning it back up, so because like they've
Yeah.
been there before. So I think, maybe second, third, fourth cycle for them, like eventually they go, okay, time to like keep the money and time to keep the money and go to Bitcoin.
How have you done that? Have you like become more disciplined over the years, or how do you think you're faring in that department?
I could definitely do better.
I think we all can,
Hold on
of
one sec.
course.
Yeah, I did retweet the link. Oh no, I
Nice.
didn't. Let me do it right now. Yeah, there it is. I definitely could have done better. I have this maybe like unjustified or like ungrounded belief, that I'm still like very good at what I do, and so I'm a little more loose with like the risks that I take, and I'm a little more loose with the money that I spend, because I have this idea in my head that like, hey, I'm just like really good at this, and so it's not really not really an issue. But I think just from being around the block a few times that I'm way more comfortable like buying Bitcoin, and I'm way more comfortable like rotating profits or whatever into stuff like Bitcoin or cashing out to the bank. Like that was a big one this run that I did not really do. The last one was I was constantly on big wins. I was constantly sending, wires to my straight to my bank account through like desks and stuff. And so it was also like the first year, that I had like a big tax bill, and I was like, oh fuck, and
Yeah.
paid that. But it's like part of being like an adult, I guess. The older we get, it's like, all right, I feel more comfortable having that money in my bank account.
Yeah, I think Ponzi's got a lot better. That seems to reset the accounts, and just from seeing all you guys who are complete degenerates, some of you,
Yeah.
like it seems like when you guys have a lot of size, you're really good at losing it fast, and when you have a little bit of size, you're really good at making a large size. So it's good to put it's good to reset the accounts in the video game. It's like reset the video game and start over.
Yeah, like, live by the sword, die by the sword. You know what I mean?
But it creates some of the best stories that I've ever heard. That's for sure. You'll be remembered by the gods.
Yeah, last cycle, we made the mistakes. I think last cycle was when we were like, in the nightclubs, just like being reckless, like blowing money and buying fucking jewelry like we were rappers, and stuff like that. And this cycle I was a little more interested in like having money in my bank account and not just like blowing it. I mean, I definitely blew a lot of it, but not to the degree and the damage, from the last cycle.
Yeah, but speaking for myself, it's like I spent my whole life trying to make a ton of money so I could do whatever the fuck I want, go party, go be crazy, and all this other stuff. And now I'm spending most of my money trying to learn how to be disciplined and not do any of those things. So
yeah, well, let me know when you figure out how to do it, because
it's a funny rotation.
Yeah, but yeah.
I can teach you how to do it for 2 weeks at a time. If I get if I get to a month, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know, because the most progress I've made in the discipline front is like I managed to make myself go to the gym, and I order meal preps and I cook those for myself instead of Uber Eating all day. But
that is one of the answers. Working out, like I'm working out 7 a.m. I just took a fight on like 10 days notice. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I'm going to fight in the Philippines on Tuesday for CFN. And yeah, I haven't been training for like 2 months, and I'll tell you, I've been training my ass off for the last 5 days, and I feel like great. I feel like a new man. I'm getting tons of stuff done. Feel healthy. Still eating kind of shitty, but I'll do my best. And yeah, I think that's the best way to stay super focused. If you can get the gym in, get a full work day in and keep your schedule. It's usually when I'm most happy, and try not to go out and do stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you look great, and I like your setup too. I like the new setup you have on the for the podcast. Is that a pool table that you're sitting at?
I'm on a poker table right now. I won a poker tournament, like a main event at the Bicycle Casino, like in 2014. So I was like super excited. I was like, how much for the fucking table? So I bought the table that I won the tournament on.
That's cool.
And put it in my house. But yeah, this was one of my first houses that I bought. I've always wanted to move back, but I went to more closer to downtown LA because I wanted to go live that party life. And I was like, yeah, it's time to
fucking live with all the homeless people, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted all of it
thrown at you.
Yeah. So I just came back here. I still got my place in downtown, which I go back and forth, but I'm spending most of my time here. We got like the sauna and the cold plunge in the back, and got a movie theater room, and you just get a lot more value out in the suburbs a little bit. It's a great place. But it's close enough to Vegas though to get me in trouble.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Vegas is pretty cool.
It's great. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I should have thrown.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I should have thrown my comps on your thing. I spent like $5,000. I had $4,000 at Komodo, I think like 1,000 at that other steak restaurant. So.
Oh, you didn't use your player's card on any of it?
I did, but it's not like yours, bro. I've got like $200 off.
Bro, I earned that shit, man. Those are mine.
Me too, bro. I got wrecked last time. I lost $15,000 at the casino, but I won like 38 grand betting on the Pacers, so that was good. So I free rolled the trip.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, you got to come out, check out the place, barbecue, swim, all that stuff.
Yeah. Let's do it. Well, I'm planning like a little 2 or 3 day trip or something like that. And
do you have any vacations planned like coming up?
Nothing big. I'm gonna do like a little hiking trip up at Zion here soon. So that'll be cool. And then the the wedding in like a year or whatever. But I don't have anything big planned. I want to do Japan soon. That's like top of my list. We've been to some really cool places, but that's like top of my list.
Yeah, places. The food's insane. If you love sushi and like Kobe beef or Wagyu.
Yeah, I'm not huge on Wagyu just because like. Dude, it's like so rich, man. It's like eating meat jelly.
Like, yeah, I don't like it unless it's like thinly sliced. If they give me like a steak,
I was gonna say, yeah, thinly sliced, I can do it. But dude, otherwise, it just feels like I'm just eating like fucking like meat jelly,
What about
yeah.
What about these government spending and stuff? Like, I think it's just going to keep pushing the markets up. But have you looked at some of the comments Elon Musk has made about some of this stuff, or you have any thoughts on that stuff?
No, I'd be lying if I said I was like an expert on that stuff. I think the problems that we have, were created over a decade or more, and I think they're gonna take longer than that, to fix. And I don't know if we even will fix them, right? Like I don't know if anyone really gives a shit enough to endure the pain, right? To fix some of that stuff. And I think a lot of the people in charge of policy to fix that stuff are going to be dead in the next 15, 20 years, and they don't really give a fuck. So
they don't want to endure the suffering to fix a problem.
Yeah, they're on the way out, man. They don't care. And I don't know. I think at the end of the day, US dollars backed by our military, and no one wants to step to that just yet. So that's kind of how I see it.
That might be coming at some point.
I mean, I don't know. People have been having wars since people existed, so I don't see that changing.
What's your day to day right now? Are you trading memes this week or?
Not really. Meme trading is kind of not great right now on Solana. People are kind of freaking out about this pump fund thing. Hold on one sec. The garbage socials going on, but people are kind of freaked out about that. I think, like I said, I think most people are just buying coins that are a little established, and they don't necessarily mind buying a coin that's sitting at like 20 to 30 mil market cap because they're seeing the upside across the board. Like Base, for example, there's a bunch of coins that are just like sitting at 60 to 70 mil that look like they're ready to go to 200 to 300 mil, and
Yeah.
people would rather buy those coins. There's been like a resurgence on the like the launch coin ecosystem. I don't know. You probably don't keep up with any of that stuff, but basically like yeah, there's been like a resurgence over there just because the valuation's like so high on a pump fund. So people are looking at launch coin and going, wow, this seems undervalued. Even though like that whole ecosystem is just, in my opinion, like fucking
Saturated.
trash.
Yeah.
It's just trash, bro. It's a bunch of like, and I'm like futting my own bags and some friends' bags, but like I'm just being real. It's a bunch of like failed Web 2 startups that that basically have gone over to this like launch pad because it's like you can just get free money off the fees without giving up like any equity in like your failed startup. But it has created an environment for people to win a little bit, right? Because like the coins actually go up. So I think that's all like anyone really cares about right now. But it's just kind of like we're just that bored, like it's nothing like groundbreaking in my opinion.
What do you think about the Binance listing of Hyperliquid?
Oh, the Binance US listing. I don't really know. I know that there is like a desire on their side to kind of build out Binance US, and so I think it's like a step in the right direction, I guess. But dude, like I think the 24-hour volume on that platform is like under 5 million, right?
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah. So it's not, doesn't really like move the needle. I guess maybe like the messaging and the optics is cool, but
it doesn't push like other sexes to like list Hyperliquid then because they know that the liquidity on the US is not that big.
I don't know. I think I'm not really like a big hype guy. I think most of the capital that's on Hyperliquid is pretty sticky, like the metrics have just been going up and up as far as like TVL and users and volume and stuff like that. So I don't know anyone that would really like want to hold their hype on Binance US or like a big tier one as opposed to just holding it on Hyperliquid, right? Because like, okay, let's say something happens to Hyperliquid. Well, like the coin's gonna fucking go to zero anyway. So like you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no like benefit of like having it somewhere that's maybe like a little like safer. It doesn't matter. The coin's gonna zero if something happens over there anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. I got a big bag, so hopefully it keeps going up.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, they've done a really good job, of creating a cult, which again, like pretty easy fucking like blueprint there, right? You just make a bunch of people rich with your coin and they will never shut the fuck up about it. That's all you have to do, man. Just like all these L1s and stuff like that, and they do these like bullshit airdrops and all that kind of stuff. Like just make your early users rich and reward them for using your product, and they'll never stop talking about it.
Seems easy. Well, I gotta get trained. I gotta audit my cases and stuff. I'm leaving on Friday, but if you can make it tomorrow, I think that'd be cool.
Tomorrow, yeah. I should be able to do it tomorrow.
All right, and then in Asia, is there anybody you think we should get on for Liquidated?
Sorry, what was the question?
I'll be in Manila like next week. Who do you think in Asia we should try to get on for Liquidated? I don't know.
You want
who's out
someone
there.
someone that's based in Asia. You're saying?
Yeah, maybe in person. I don't know. I guess we'll
person,
kind of look
okay.
around.
Let me think about it.
Yeah. All right, brother.
Circle
Well,
back.
I'll see you soon, man.
All right, sounds good, bro.
Wait.